Not again. Come on, spring. All right, folks, we're back over on the river. Let's get some gold and try to kill that fever a little bit more, huh? We're over here in our typical spot. Got a couple geese down here yelling at us. They don't like us over here. Of course, they'll be nesting soon, so they're kind of getting in protection mode already. All right, we'll get our boots on and get over here. We're gonna try to work the black sands that we saw last time before we left, kind of working that area. All right, we're about set up, ready to run. Had a couple more geese come in. Hey, be nice. You gotta share the river, and I was here first. Yeah, I know you hear me. But anyway, we're about set up. Haven't started the pump yet, but I'm sure she'll run without a problem. We're gonna work these black sands up in here that I showed you last time we were over here. You can see it up through there, hopefully. Right up through there, black sand. Okay, I stepped away so that you could hear me, but that material where the black sand is just really thick muck with some roots in it. When I look in the mats, I do see a considerable amount of black sand. That stuff's a little hard to work through. I gotta work all the way through it with my hand in the box, so we're gonna run just that stuff on the first run and see what kind of gold is in that. All right, we got that first run through the box. We worked it right in this area. Tried taking the only the top. We got down to the gravels a little bit here and there, just to make sure we got everything off the top. Let's have a look in the box. I do see a 22 bullet right there. I'm not seeing any visible gold though. And if that's a little piece right there, it's a good one. But I'm not seeing it like last time, so you can tell the box was tipped a little bit. It's hard to get this thing adjusted right because it does have a bow in it. This is an old truck toolbox that I've made into a sluice, so she's not perfect, but she works pretty good. You can see the black sands down in here. I'm not seeing any visible gold though, so anyway, let's get this in a bucket and then into a pan and have a quick look at it. All right, having fun though. That sunshine's out, it's feeling good. Okay, we got that all in a bucket, then into a pan. I pulled it back kind of quick, and we got a few pieces, but it doesn't look as good as we normally do here. I see about 10 in there. I'll just point to a couple of them. You can see a few in there. You can see them in there. All right, we're gonna get set up again and put another run through the Highbanker. I got time for one more run, kind of a busy afternoon coming up, so one more run. We're gonna dig deeper right in this spot and see what we get out of there. Just a beautiful day though. Glad you folks came along. Good times. All right, let's get back at it. Okay, second and final run through the box for the day. Like I said, I got stuff to do this afternoon, so let's have a look in here. I haven't even looked in here yet. Let's see if we can see anything. I'm not seeing nothing. No visible gold. Let's see how good this is. We'll do a cleanup and have a better look at it. Alright, I'm going to do this cleanup, but we're not going to be able to look at it because I dumped all the previous cons into the bucket and I didn't bring another bucket with me. We could mess around and find another container, but we'll just do a final cleanup at home. But I actually do see a couple pieces of gold. One little tiny one off the end of my finger. I saw another one right here someplace. So there are a few pieces of visible gold, little tiny specks, but hey, we like gold, don't we? Nice seeing it. All right, I'm gonna put this in the bucket, get all this stuff. Is that a piece? Nope. I'm gonna put all this in the bucket, take it home, do a cleanup, and see what gold we got. That sun is beautiful today, though. Those geese decided, yeah, we'll leave him alone. He was here first. I told them. Well, I just stopped here real quick on the way home. You can see these gravel bars here, these whole benches. Actually, it's a glacial esker. This is all glacial material here. And what an esker is when a stream or a small river, or, you know, a little brook flows under the ice, it will deposit material. As the ice melts, the water is able to rise higher, and then it deposits a layer. And if you can see, there's layers in here. You see the layers of sand in there, and then gravels. You can see the layering in there. The reason I stopped is this flows into the river downstream here a little ways, and I noticed the muddy water, so I just wanted to come up and see if there was a big fall out of these gravel banks, because very often you can see the trees, they just erode out of there. But it looks like the majority of the fall is upstream, so maybe we'll get a view of that as we go up through. There's not many places to access this little creek. There's only a couple public places, so I'm not sure if we can go down and see what size the fall of material was into the creek, but we'll give it a try. I just want to stop and check this out. Pretty cool. I see material rolling off the bank over there. Spring thaw, it's a-coming. Okay, I just wanted to show you different parts of that esker. There's a piece right there on the left, and this road actually cuts right through it, and then it continues over on that side. Here we are on the right. The esker continues, and then the highway, we're going to be right up on top of the esker right here. Right here is the edge of it. We're driving up onto it right now. We're right up on the esker. We'll drop off on that side, and then drop off over on the other side of that hill. We're literally up on top of the esker. It's pretty cool. Hey folks, made it back home. Got a couple new stickers on the board. Got one from the surfing prospector, Crouch. He's down there in Australia. He has a lot of fun in his videos, and his last video he did pretty good panning. Check it out. Really fun video right there. Good job, Crouch. Goober Ned Jardini sent me Goober's sticker, and he's a pretty funny guy too. I watch his stuff as well. All these channels are cool. Check them out. All right, let's do a little pan of those concentrates we brought home. I got about half of them, most of the big stuff in the little pan here, 10-incher or whatever it is. We'll pan it right into the super sluice there. And then the rest of them are down here in this bucket, most of the black sand and whatnot. You can see it there. Let me do some quick panning here, and when it's all done, said and done, we'll put it in the big bottom blue pan and have a pretty good look at it. All right, give me a second. I'll get you set up. We'll do some panning together. All right. Camera's rolling. Take one. I'll just give it some agitation here. Swirl it around there for a minute and make sure all those heavies drop to the bottom. I like to go around and around and around. See, I always went around and around like this, and you never want to switch which way you're going, but pretty much stay in the same motion. But I used to always go around and around the way I am now, and then I switch because I've seen people saying that the whole back and forth was better for the fine gold, but not for me. For some reason, I tend to lose gold when I pan back and forth like that and pan. I tend to lose gold, so I went back to my original way of doing it. I'm going to stick with this, I think. Enough talking. Let's wash some of these lights off. I washed this off a little bit so it wasn't so dirty. And we're going to be spilling water. That's okay. It's a shop floor. Get some of those bigger rocks out of there, of course. Give her another good shaking. And whenever I'm panning, I always like to leave that edge of the pan underwater. Whether I'm washing the material out or agitating it. And like I said before, even when I'm starting off, and if I'm panning flat like that, I like to have the whole pan, the edge of it underwater. I don't know, it just seems to wash clean water in and back out for me. It's just the way I've always done it. Wash some of those lights off real easy like. Settle that gold back down. Most of you get the point. I don't need to talk through it, so I'll just fast forward right here. Okay, here we go, round two. Okay, we got everything that we have left. This is about a third of it in the big pan, and the rest is in the bottom of this small one. I'll just do about a third at a time and work this back. I just wanted to show you the material. Let me get it all down in the corner here. See the garnets in it? You might be able to see that red tint right off the edge. The black sand isn't too powdery fine, but it's not really coarse. It's about medium. Alright, I'm going to work this through. We'll get the gold out of it, and then we'll work on a little more till we're done. Alright, give me a minute. Okay, let's do number two. There was 4 or 5 little tiny specks in the first one. Let's do number two. Okay, this is the third pan of going through the concentrates. Let me show you what I'm seeing already. A lot of glare on there, but where are they? All right in there. See them all? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About halfway through the third pan, we got 7 showing up. So looks about average, maybe a little better. Let's find out. We only did 2 runs. This is the 4th round right here. We got a little flake right there. And there's that bigger one that we saw just a few minutes ago. Not a bad little flake right there. Alright, we'll keep that. This is the last one, and we'll put it all together. Well, check this out. This is probably the best run we've had with the Highbanker yet. 2 runs. This was 2 tanks of gas. I counted 77 pieces in there. And that bigger flake. That might be the biggest flake that we got from that little area. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. 77. I think we're right in that zone right there. Okay. That looks good. That was a lot of fun. Next on the agenda while we're out here in the shop, we got some rocks from Flower Gold Wizard. He got them from Lake Superior. Let's start tumbling those. And here's those rocks that Jason sent. Some pretty ones in here. I believe that's a piece of unakite. Feldspar and jasper. Pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. I believe this is banded iron. That'll be nice when it's done. Some of these I'm not too sure if they're going to tumble too good, but we're still going to give them a try. Like that one, it seems really soft. We'll give it a try anyway, at least for the first run, see what happens. This one might do something, not real sure. Stuff on this side was stuff from Lake Ontario that I had previously, but that stuff we got from Jason. Gonna throw it right in the bowl here with some tumbling, I guess you call it media, kind of that takes up the spaces in between the stones and helps to polish them. We'll put some grinding grit in there and we'll get it all going. Alright, they're gonna be pretty. Alright, they're all in the bowl there. We always start with step 2 until we get a normal tumbler to tumble rocks with. We always start with step 2. We're recommending not to put the coarse stuff in here and then try to polish afterwards, because sometimes that grit will contaminate this bowl. So you either buy another bowl separately to do the main grinding, or you get a rolling tumbler to do that. And eventually I'm going to get a rolling tumbler, but we're going to start with this medium grit here, which they call step 2, was 180 to 220 grit. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of that in there. Might not need 3, but we'll start with 3. And we'll let this run for a week, and then I'll come out and change the water and change the grit, and probably put it on for another week. We'll do the first polishing stage, or first kind of a grinding stage for 2 weeks to really get them down to a good shape and try to get any of the imperfection out of the stones. This grit right here is actually the step 1 grit, the one I was talking about we don't use with this bowl. This is 6090 grit of the same material, silicon carbide. This is just finer grit for step 2, so that's why we run the first stage for a couple weeks probably instead of a week or just a few days. Okay, they're all working around and they're pretty good. I know you can't see it, but they're moving around pretty good. I see everything agitating real good. They're slowly spinning around. The rocks are kind of rolling over and tumbling. Just what you want. So I'll come back out later. It won't be in the video, but just to let you know, I come back out later and tighten these down. There's a nut here and one inside. If you don't, the bowl starts spinning. Everything gets loose, makes a mess. So I learned the hard way with that. So we'll check that later on. Then in a few days, I'll be out to check on it again. Well, folks, we didn't do too bad over there on the river, huh? Got what did I count? 77 pieces, like 75 to 80 pieces. That was only 2 runs, and we got that bigger flake. Not too bad. Try to remember exactly what we did over there that time and try to repeat it. It might be the material we were working or the area. You never know until you dig again and find out. But sometimes you never learn. Sometimes that's just the way it is, you know. Thanks for stopping in, sticking around. Not sure what we'll do next time, but we'll do something. One thing we have to do, we gotta get out and prospect the river a little bit more. That spot we're on isn't gonna pay forever, so it'd be cool to find another spot on the river that pays that good or better. But until then, and as always, you guys have fun.